So this seminar is going to be about hosted sign-up pages and our customer portal. The agenda is, I'm not going to go through the agenda really in details, but opening and introduction is now, and I'm just going to shortly explain who I am and who Marcus is, and then we're going to go into demo mode, where we're going to demo the features in detail. Then we're going to explain a little bit about what is the idea of these features, what are we going to build on the features next. Then there'll be a short Q&A session, and then I'll round up by saying a little bit about what will come next, what will be the next webinar that we will invite to 3 to 4 weeks from now. My name is Robert Steenholt, so I'm the Chief Customer Officer at Billwerk Plus. I have a long experience in the payment industry, everything from being the CTO for a payment service provider till co-founding a company called Repay, which actually merged into this Billwerk Plus company that I'm now working for. I have my contact details here, and we're going to share this after this webinar. So you're free to contact me if you have ideas or anything like that. Just feel free to contact me. Or to Marcus.
Yeah, hi guys. My name is Marcus, and I'm head of product at Billwerk Plus. I also been in a former Repay company before we merged together with our sister companies. So now it's under the Billwerk Plus brand, and I'm responsible for making sure we are developing the right features and we are going in a direction where we want to be as a company. So yeah.
Right. So hosted sign-up pages. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we have in the administration when you log in, we have something called announcements. And this is why we actually announce new features. So you can click on it and you can see what is new and how it's used. There was also an invite for this webinar actually. So be sure to look at that. You can also, if you click on a news article in there, you can also sign up to get an email or text or anything like that when we have news. So be sure to sign up for that. So our hosted sign up pages is, let me say, overall, it's a way for you guys to have sign up pages for subscription signups for your customers. And the whole idea is that you can set this up without spending time on integration, meaning you don't have to know anything about APIs, coding, HTML, and stuff like that. The only thing you need to do is that you need to log into our administration, and then you can set everything up in there. That's basically the idea. So basically, it's very easy. It takes about 5 minutes to set up. What is also a very cool thing is that when you have set it up and you think that you can do something, you can make changes or you could do something better, then it's basically just log in and edit what you already set up. And then two minutes later, you have a whole new setup where you can change, naming, what is included in the different things and stuff like that. We also have a little bit of a customization, so you can customize icons and you can customize colors and stuff like that. So what we had in mind when we were doing this is that it has to be simple and it has to be easy to set up, and it should take 5 minutes. That's also why the current version we have right now is not that complex. Basically, it's a little bit limited to what you can do. We will, of course, change that going forward, build on it. But the idea is not that you are supposed to do everything. This is basically for for you guys that want to get a head start and test it out. If you want to do really advanced things with your subscription sign up, then you go and use our APIs instead of that. So now we'll hand it over to Marcus, and then Marcus can demo how it works and what it's all about. So,
yes. Sure, I'll share my screen. Robert, make sure to let people in. I can see people are still coming in. All right, can you see my screen? Great.
Yeah.
So as you just said, the hosted pages is the easy way of get started with your subscription business. It doesn't really matter if you are a small startup or you're maybe an existing business or a bigger business. Like if you want to get started with subscriptions, it could be that you have your normal business running an e-commerce store or some kind of other business. You want to try out the subscription space, but you don't want to take the big investments of getting developers doing an API integration. This is the way you can get started with very limited resources. So this is just a demo page, web page I created, and it's just to illustrate how you can use the hosted sign-up pages. So I've just linked to my sign-up pages in different become a member buttons on the website. So if I click this button, I will be taken to my hosted sign-up page and where I can see the different products I've created on the page. So in this case, I've created 3 products: a standard, a premium, an enterprise. We can give it a name, we can give it an icon, we can give it a description, as you can see here. Then we obviously give it a price. You can see how often we're going to charge. We give it a number of benefits, so it's easy for the customers to distinguish between the plans and determine which one is right for them. And then we can give it a badge, as you can see here. So I've created this popular badge here, and I also activated highlighting for the premium product. So that's using the accent color. And the colors in here is based on the colors from my brand on the website. So I just chose an accent color. And by doing that, we change the colors to this screen instead. So if I click, let's say I want to sign up for the standard one, so I will just click that. Then I will go to the next step where I can fill in the details. Again, we have the name here, the icon, the description. Up here, we have the 14 days trial included because this one is have a trial included. We can see the monthly fees here. We can also see that these products have a one-time fee as well. So when I'm signing up, I'm also going to pay for this one-time fee. And then we can see the total, the VAT, and we can also see when the trial expires and what I'm going to pay after the trial. So let me fill in some information here. I just have a temporary mail just going to use. As you can see, some of these fields are mandatory. You can actually define which fields that should be on this page. So if you don't want, let's say, the whole billing address section here, you can disable that. You can also just disable the country if you're only selling to Germany, Denmark, Sweden, or whatever. So there's also some controls here in terms of which fields you need to fill out as a customer. Then we have the coupon fields. So that obviously works with the coupons in Billwerk Plus. So here I can insert a coupon. So let's see if I can remember the one I created. Yep. So when the coupon is accepted, we can see the coupon here and the discount which is being applied and how long it lasts and so on. Lastly, we have the terms and conditions, which is also the one you created under the account settings in Billwerk Plus. So you also need to approve them. So we can click proceed to payment. Now we're going to the payment window. I also styled the payment window just a little bit to, again, make sure that we have the accent color all the way through. We can see up here, total due today is €0 because we have the 14-day trial. So we can just go ahead and enter test credit card and click save. And now I'm being redirected back to the website because you can also determine custom accept and decline URLs. So you can determine where the customer should go. So I've determined the customer should go to this page where I've just written you're in, and you could have a bunch of information. You can look forward to the below services. And this is just an example. So this is how it works for the customers. How it works for you guys is if you go on the configuration, and then you have two pages here. You have hosted pages and you have hosted pages product. So if you haven't set up any hosted page yet, maybe you're using our old hosted pages from the old dashboard. It could also be you're a new merchant at Billwerk Plus. But the first thing you're going to start with is going to hosted page products, because you need to create the products first before being able to create the page. So I've already gone ahead and created the 3 different products I have. We can just have a look at how those are set up. So I've given them the name, as you saw before. I've also enabled product icon. So we're using icons from Font Awesome. You can just open this link and you can find any icon in here. And you can just take the name. So for example, image, and you'll just paste it image in icon name. There's also some pretty good tool tips on all the majority of the fields. So you can to let you know how to use the fields probably. Then there's the description that I pasted in, we saw before. Then for this product, I enabled the product badge popular. So that was where we were seeing before, this one. So you can have these badges if you want to highlight or, make one of them pop out a bit more. The other way of really making some of the products pop out is enabling this highlighting, and that's what I did to the premium one. So this has the green accent color. If I enable it for the standard one, this will be green as well. And I have white text and white button and so on. Then you select which plan. So you obviously need to tie this product to a specific subscription plan you already created. So you'll go on the configuration, create your plan, and then you can pick whatever plan you have created. So this one is obviously the standard one. Then I have some plan configuration. Either I can just use default plan settings, or I can customize the settings. Normally, you would probably just use the default plan settings, but if you want to customize this specific hosted product, then you would be able to, say override and say there's no setup fee for this specific one, and there's a bunch of information here. Then you can add different add-ons. So this is kind of a bundle you have basically bundling options when creating these products. So you don't need to only sign up for the plan. You can also let your customers sign up to a plan and maybe 2 add-ons and maybe an additional cost, which I created here. So that was the VIP, the one-time fee we saw before. So this one is something you're paying on the first one. But you could also add different add-ons. So maybe you have additional services that is included to this plan. So it's not only the plan fee I want to charge for, I also want to charge for a number of add-ons. So that can be added to this product, and then you will sell this kind of bundle with a plan, some add-ons and additional costs, and maybe even a discount if you want to have a discount laying on the product when you buy it. Then we have benefits. So that was the benefits you saw before. You're able to add as many benefits as you want. As you probably saw here, if you have too many, we'll have this show all benefits, and then you can expand the whole list. This obviously also works in a mobile environment. Maybe we can just quickly, can I do this? Trying to, we'll just do this instead. So if we take, let's see, an iPhone, so this will be how it is. So you'll be able to swipe between the different products, and it will look similar on the next pages. The last thing on the product is the field configuration. So when you buy this specific product, you can control which fields do I then see as a customer on the checkout page. So either you can use defaults, so that will just be all the default fields, like first name, last name, basically the ones you saw before. But if you want to override those, you can go ahead and click the override mode, and here you can determine, what you want to. So maybe you want to, it could be, like I said before, you maybe want to hide country. You don't offer coupons for this one, so you want to hide that as well. You can do different stuff here. So you have 3 options, either mandatory, optional, and hidden. Then you click save, and then you can create multiple products. So it's just clicking this button and creating the products. Once you have created the products, you can go ahead to change over to the hosted page instead. So this will be the page which we are looking at here. So this is the page, and these are the products inside the page. I think that's pretty intuitive. But here you can create multiple pages, and we can just edit the one I already created. So here is the link for the page. So if I open this one, I will just land directly in the page. So the thing I did was just took this link and put it on my website and put it in a button. You could put it in an email, you could send it out to your customers, you could put it on your Facebook page, your YouTube page, doesn't really matter. You can give it a name, so the name will be the one you will see here in the URL, but it's not used anywhere else. Then you have the accept URL and the cancel URL. So when the customer signs up successfully, they will end on this page. So that was my thank you page, this one. And if the payment fails or anything, they will end up on my cancel URL, where I can have a specific message for that. Then I can control which language the page should be in. Getting back to the multi-language stuff, we have some news to share with you in the end of the webinar. Then we have the accent color, which I mentioned earlier as well, controlling the look and feel of the page. Then you can you have the option to override which payment methods the customer sees. So normally you will probably just be use all payment methods, but if this specific hosted page should only have certain payment methods, maybe you have created a B2C hosted page and a B2B hosted page. So it could be that you want to limit some of the payment methods on the B2B one because they would not work for the B2B merchants, and maybe opposite. So you could click this one and then you can select which payment method you already have enabled under configuration and payment methods. And then obviously adding the products to the page. So here you can add the products and you can also filter them. So that will be the order they are displayed in from left to right. So in this case, we have standard, premium, and enterprise, which we want to maintain. Yeah, so this is how you set up your new hosted page and create the products inside the page. And you can create as many pages you want, as many products you want, and you can bundle them in different ways. As I mentioned, you have the opportunity to include different add-ons to the plan and so on. So you can really narrow down your catalog. And this is very useful if you're only selling a couple of subscriptions, or even maybe selling 10, 15 different plans, but don't want to create a full-blown e-commerce store or anything like that. You can achieve this very easily and fast and get up and running. And it can be implemented on any web systems. It doesn't, we're not limited by any specific system. It could be any web shop platform, any website platform, any social media platform. It's basically just a link you can copy and put in wherever you want. Yeah, so that was the hosted pages part.
All right, thank you, Max. We have a few questions actually. Maybe we should go through them now. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
That's a question about payment methods. Is it only credit card, or is it also things like mobile pay subscription, stuff like that?
Yeah. Let me just let me share my screen real quick again. So yeah, payment methods. So as you saw here, you could define which payment method should be visible in the hosted page. The ones I'm seeing here is just the ones I have enabled on this specific account. So if I enabled, over the 50 different payment method Billwerk Plus supports, that would be a long list of payment methods. So on this account, I only enabled credit cards and Apple Pay. But if you wanted to enable other credit card or other payment methods, you could just go in under payment methods and then go in and enable them. So if you were mentioning mobile pay subscription in Denmark and Finland, so that will just be going in, enabling mobile pay subscription, and then you will be able to see that in the hosted page. Could be that you will wanted to use Vipps recurring in Norway, then it will be a matter of fact of creating a Vipps recurring agreement, enabling that, and then you will be able to see that in the page. We also support SEPA direct debit for recurring users, so you can enable that as well. We also support Ideal in the Netherlands for recurring payments, so you can enable that as well. And there will be more recurring payment methods coming up. So as long as you have enabled them in here, you would be able to see them in the hosted page, unless you have gone in and did some settings and hidden them.
All right. So next question, there's one more question, and it's about success URLs or cancel URLs. So the question is, I have also a set of questions for that. So first, let's take the obvious. should you always put in cancel and success URL? What happens if you don't?
If you don't put in a URL, you will just be redirected to our dummy accept page. So yeah, you will just stay on the Billwerk Plus domain, and it will say your purchase was successful, and you will be stuck there. I would recommend setting up a custom URL instead. It just makes greater sense that you are letting you're going back to some kind of page you already came from or something like that. Also, you maybe want to add some information. So now I've become a subscriber to your membership club, but how do I get started? How do I receive the product? Maybe you want to redirect the customer to that specific page where the customer can see what will happen next. Where can I log in to see something, or do I get something delivered by the courier next week or whatever. I would say accept URLs and cancel URLs is a pretty good thing to use, but it's not mandatory, so there's no mandatory mark either.
Yeah, there's a follow-up question for that. There was somebody asking, is it possible to set the cancel and success URL based on the product? I know the answer, but maybe you should.
Yeah, so not at the moment. So at the moment, it's only for the entire page. So in this page, we have 3 different products, and no matter what product you buy, you end up on the same URL. But it's actually a good question, and actually something we should be able to add fairly easy, because each of these products also have an ID, so we could add that to the URL slug, so you would be able to identify where the customer is coming from, whether it's the standard one, the premium, or the enterprise they sign up for. So it's a good question, and something we will definitely write down.
Okay. And then the last question in this time is, the scenario that we see often when you browse online and you're buying a product is that they have like a monthly subscription and a yearly subscription where there's a discount for the yearly subscription. Can you just shortly maybe explain how that is possible to set up, maybe with different plans, stuff like that, like just the idea behind it, because that could be a use case that would be.
Yeah, it's a very common use case. So the way you would achieve this would be go in, you will create your different plans. So let's just look at the ones I have active here. So I've created these 3 plans. I think 2 of them is monthly, 1 of them is per quarter, but maybe you have 3 monthly plans, and then you want to create 3 additional yearly plans. So we have 6 plans in total, right? 3 of them on a monthly basis, and 3 of them will be yearly basis. The easy way of doing that would just be say, all right, so the monthly plan has this cost, and the yearly plan I want to give 10% off. So I'll just, the plan cost will just be 10% less. That works, but it's not very. You can only see the price difference, but you're not showcasing this discount of 10%. So a better way of really showing that there is a discount is going in, creating the 3 plans on a yearly basis. Just making sure the amount is the same as, let's say, the standard. So if I have a standard yearly, that will be 12 times as multiplied with 49 euros. So I'll just set that as the price. So the price will just be 12 times as much as the standard. But what I would do when I go to the configuration and then create the products would be that I could take the standard plan, and then I add a discount. Because when you add a discount, so you obviously need to go in and create a discount as well. But if you add a discount, we will show that discount on the hosted page, so your customers will be able to see very clearly that there is 10% off on the yearly standard plan. So that's a way of achieving this. The way you could achieve this on your website is either you could just have one single hosted page with 6 different products, but it could also be that maybe you want to create 2 different hosted pages. So you create one which is for monthly product, one is for yearly product, and then on your website you have some kind of overview where you have maybe just like my home screen here. So let's go back. I maybe have something on pricing. So basically something like this. So it could be that you have 2 buttons here. One, if I click this one, I will be redirected to the monthly plans, and I have another one where I will be redirected to the yearly plans. There's different way of doing this. But yeah, using the discount would make it more obvious that there is a discount attached to that yearly plan. So you save 10% by taking a yearly plan instead of a monthly plan.
All right. There's a question, maybe it's from Kevin. Maybe I didn't understand it correctly, but it's a question about the add-ons.
Yeah.
Like how to put add-ons in these products. Maybe Kevin, if that's not the question, you can ask it again, and then we can take it in the QA session. But
I can
maybe
just give a quick example, right? So let's say I'm offering some kind of subscription service, and the typical one is there is it could be that I offer some kind of extra support, right? It could be phone support. Let's just write that. So phone support here, it's an on-off, like either you get phone support or you don't. It's not a quantity based. And then phone support is, I don't know, let's say 29 years, and it works for some plans or all plans. This one just works for all plans. So I can create that. I can go back to my hosted page products. I could go under, let's just go under the standard one. So go down here. I'll just remove this additional cost. You don't have to. I'll just do that to clean up a bit. And then I will add the add-on, phone support, confirm, click save. And then if we go to this page now and refresh, we can also see the amount changes. And that's because now you're also paying for add-on. So as you can see here in the your order view, you have standard plan of 49 euros, and then you have phone support of 29 euros. Then you can add multiple add-ons. This is a very good illustrative way to show what kind of products do I get inside the plan. You could do that by the benefits, but if you really want to show your customers that they are paying for different services here, and each service has a cost, add-ons is a great way of doing that. It also means that later on you would be able to go into your Billwerk Plus portal and you can remove certain add-ons for some of the customers if they don't want to have the add-on anymore. So that's how they can be utilized. We are getting some more features in terms of the add-ons and the hosted pages. We'll get back to that in the end of the webinar. But yeah.
All right. Then then let's go on. I will just share my screen again here. So now it's about the customer portal. So the customer portal is a little bit the same that we have with the hosted sign-up pages. It's a way for you guys to have your customers or your subscribers self-service themselves. Basically, it's what you see when you log into, for instance, Netflix, and as a customer that you want to change your subscription package, you want to cancel your subscription, you want to update your credit card or payment information, and all of these kind of things we have collected into to customer portal. And that means that you guys don't have to do this deep integration from your website to our APIs to achieve this. It's a way of just setting it up and then have a link that you can supply out to all your customers. You can do it in all your mails, send out this link, and then the customer can then log into the customer portal and self-service themselves. There's a little bit of customization to it. The whole idea behind this is that it should be easy for you guys. It's not highly customizable, but you can do the basic stuff. And this is the first version of it. So Marcus, back to you again.
Yes, let me share my screen again. All right. So now we covered the hosted page. So that will be where the customers are signing up, but customers obviously also want a place where they can manage their subscription. And instead of them calling you, sending you an email, asking you questions, maybe you want to automate that and give your customers some self-service. And that's why we created the customer portal, to kind of close the loop of this no-code environment where you can set up a hosted sign-up page, and you can set up a customer portal, and you can basically get started with your subscription business really fast. So the way it works is I just took my customer portal link from the Billwerk Plus admin and I added it to this My Account button on my website. So if I click this, I will go to the customer portal. Similar to the hosted page, I have my logo up in the left corner. I have the green accent color that is being used here as well. Here we also use showing some information about the company. We'll probably also add that to the hosted page. So these are just my demo account information I have added to my account settings in my Billwerk Plus admin. I can also change the language of the customer portal, which the language I want to see there. So we can just switch between this and see the language changing. So let me put in the email address I used before. So I'll just paste that in. As you can see here, enter your email and submit to receive your password. You'll be sent a one-time password to log in. So I'll click send me a one-time password. Now it says we're sent an email with the code. And let's see here if I received something. So I got something here. Let me just copy that. I'll just paste it in. And now I'm logged in. So same view as before. And I also have the option to log out, obviously. But then I have my details, my customer details. So these were the information I used when I signed up. I can go in and change them if I wanted to. So it could be that I wanted to change my address because whatever you're delivering to me is it should be delivered to another address. I could change that in here. I can see my subscriptions. So right now I have one in trial. Then I can see my payment methods that is saved to my account, and then I can see my invoices. So there's no invoices yet because the subscription I have is in trial. So we can go and click at the subscription, and then I will be changed to this subscription page where I can see the subscription, I can see the plan, I can see the cost, I can see some stage here. So now I'm in trial, and the next billing period will start in a couple of days, 14 days. Then I can see the coupons I have used. So I've used this coupon. And right now it hasn't given me any discount yet, but it will give me when we get to the next billing period. Then we can see the additional costs. So there is this VIP cost that I was charged when I signed up. So this is pending. I will be charged after the trial period. Then I have the payment methods. So this is the payment method that is being used for this subscription. And lastly, we have a timeline here. So if anything changes to my subscription, if any invoices get added to my customer profile here, I will be able to see it. So the way we can just trigger this is we can go to the admin, go to customers, we can find the customer. So now we can see the same thing as the customer could see, the payment method, the subscription, and so on. So what we could just do now is we can go on the trial here, and let's just go create an invoice under the subscription. I'll just go in, create an invoice here, use the existing payment card, and click submit. And then if I go to back to the customer portal, you can now see that I have an invoice. So I can also click the invoice, and I can see what has been charged. So here there's just one order line. I enabled the plan order line of 49 euros. I can see the transaction that was approved, and I can see the timeline. If I go back to my subscription, I also have some settings here. So I have the option to pause the subscription and cancel the subscription. Since this one is in trial, I can't pause it. So the only thing I can do is cancel. But maybe let's just go ahead and go back to the customer here. And let's just add another subscription so you can see how that looks. So just add premium one here. I will just use the existing payment method the customer have. Go back, refresh the page, and now the customer can see they have two subscriptions. So here I have the option to pause the subscription. So I can click pause, and the customer will see this notice. I can click confirm. So now this is on hold. If I go back to the admin, I will be able to see that this is on hold as well. So now we can see it's on hold. If I click on the subscription, I have the same actions in here, so I can reactivate the subscription here. So if I do that, I see this notice as well. We confirm, and now we're back to inactive. I can also cancel the subscription. I see the notice. I can click confirm. Now it's canceled or under cancellation, so it will expire in the end of November. And if I want to change that, I can reactivate the subscription, and now I'm back to active again. There's one more action, that is adding another payment method. So if I click add a payment method, I will be redirected to the payment window where I can add another payment method. This is just credit card, but that's the same principle as the hosted page. If you have enabled other subscription payment methods, they will work here as well. So let's just add this MasterCard. And now you can see I have two payment methods. So I have my MasterCard and I have my Visa card. I can delete them. But if I try to delete the one that is being used, it'll just give you this information. and then I click confirm, and then I will see the payment method is in use. So if I wanted to delete this, I need to change out, make sure this is not being used for any of the subscriptions. If I go back to the premium one, I can now click select payment method to change the Visa that is being used. So now I can select the MasterCard. I will be able to see a list of payment method if I have multiple. So I click confirm, and now this has been changed. Last thing we could quickly do is let's go under the trial one as well. Let's change to the MasterCard. Back, and now I should be able to delete the Visa card. And now the Visa card is deleted. And I can see all my invoices down here and be able to click them. And I think, let me see, if we click on the subscription, I also see the invoices under the subscription here. So I also have, if I only want to see the invoices that is relevant for this specific subscription, when I click the subscription, I will only see those invoices. So this is how the customer portal looks for the customer. There's not a lot to show you as a merchant, because setting it up is very easy. You go to configuration, you go to customer portal, and here you have it. Here you have the link, and you can change the accent color, and that's pretty much it. We are doing some stuff right now. I think it's already done. It's just need to get released, but giving you the option to determine whether your customer should obviously, be able to set the subscription on hold and cancel the subscription. Maybe that's some good controls to have, because maybe you don't want your customers to be able to pause their subscription. So they will appear here inside this page really soon. But it will basically be here. You can control your customer portal and make sure the customer have the options they should have. Yeah. So that was the customer portal.
Yeah, that was basically the two questions that I also got. One question: is it possible to control whether the customers can cancel their subscription or not, or can pause their subscription or not? So that was the answer that you gave just before. Another question would be like, how do you get the URL? That was also what you just showed right now. There was a question saying, does the link expire? I assume it doesn't expire.
No, so this is just a static link. So this will, be there forever. So you can send this again, you can put it on your website, send it an email. The link will be the same, and you can't change the link either. So it's very simple.
All right. Thank you. There's no more questions. Yeah, let me share again here. And you guys can see my screen, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Now a little bit about the upcoming enhancements. Yeah, that's also you, Marcus, basically. Let me just give you the next slide here.
Yeah. So first, some of the enhancements of the customer portal and the sign-up pages. So some of the things we are looking at is, first, you're able to do a purchase as a logged-in user on the sign-up page. So right now, if you go in, I just did my purchase. I went on my customer portal, I saw my subscription, but if I wanted to buy another subscription, I could go on the sign-up page again, but it wouldn't tie that new subscription to my existing account. It will just create a new account. So that will be one of the first things we will address, making sure that you can log in on the sign-up page as well, and then you will be able to buy from that account, also using your existing payment method, using your existing customer data, so you don't need to enter all of those, but making sure that that subscription get attached to that specific customer profile. So that's one of the obvious one. I have a small small enhancement of the discounts. So right now, if you predefine discounts, we don't really show them on the first page you saw on the sign-up pages. So when you saw this product catalog view with 3 products, we don't show the discount directly there. We obviously discount the price, but we don't show 10% discount we're given or something like that. So we'll just make it a bit more obvious that you're getting a discount also on the product catalog page and not only on the checkout page. Then we have add-on selection, which we are looking at as well. So you saw before that I added an add-on, and we could see that on the checkout page, but the customer don't have the option to pick what add-ons they want to use, or determine the quantity if the add-on is a quantity-based add-on. That is something we're looking at as well. So you as a merchant can say, on this product, the customers can pick between these different three add-ons, for example. So that would be something coming up as well. And then the last thing is user management. So right now you log in on the customer portal by using these one-time passwords, which is very easy, and we don't need to store passwords, and it's easy for the customers. They just need to enter their email, they get a password, and don't need to remember it. You will not be getting any calls about forgotten passwords and so on. But it could be that the customer already logged into your system, and you want to, use that login to log into the customer portal, and that's where stuff like single sign-on is important. So that will be something we are looking at. So if you have an existing platform, but you don't want to, create your own custom portal, you want to reuse ours, but you are, you're familiar with APIs, you want to call our API to single sign on the customer, then you will be able to do that. So that's something we're looking at as well. And this is more in general, just to give you guys some information of, what is coming up in terms of, especially subscription management. So something we already have done, it's already released. I'm not sure if you have noticed, but normally the way we have handled multi-currency is you can have multiple accounts in Billwerk Plus, and then on each account you have one currency for your subscription products or plans and so on. We changed that, so now you can have just one account and have multiple different plans with different currencies. So once you create a plan, you are able to determine which currency this specific plan should be in, and the same goes for add-ons and so on. So you don't need multiple accounts now. You can just have one account and multiple plans, and then control the currency on the plan level. If a customer is signed up for a plan in euros, they can have add-ons in US dollars, for example. So there is these limitations. So you can only add add-ons and discounts that is in the same currency as, or maybe not the discounts. Discounts don't have currency. So add-ons, you can only add add-ons in the same currency. So that's already out. You can go ahead and use that already. Then something we are working on right now is next two tasks here, or next upcoming enhancements. So it's tax management, where you as a merchant can go in and configure different tax rules inside the Billwerk Plus admin. So you create your different tax rules and in different tax policy groups, and then Billwerk Plus will automatically apply them to the customer. So when the customer tells which country they're coming from, we will make sure they are getting billed in the right, getting the right tax on the plan they're buying. So that's pretty cool. And then we have localization, so which kind of tied together with tax management and multi-currency. It's about getting out of the country you're in and getting into another markets. So localization is the languages. We also support localization on multi-language today, but it's based on accounts again. So you need different accounts to support multi-currency. So you could have 3 accounts, and then one account could be in English, and another account could be in German, and then the third account could be in Swedish. But if you wanted to have everything on one account, you can't do that today. And that's what we would like to achieve. Very soon we'll be able to give you the option to have multiple, be able to translate all the customer fields in the admin. So when you set in your plan name, you can translate that plan name into different languages, and then it will show the right version of that plan name depending on which language the customer is seeing a specific page in. And the same goes for stuff like email templates and so on, being able to translate the email templates in different languages to make sure that the customer get the email templates in the right, or the email in the right language they have chosen. So that will also include a language field on the customer. So you will be able to say which language does this customer prefer their communication in, and then based on that, we'll send out information in that preferred language. The last thing is manual payment methods and PDF invoicing. Besides all the online payment methods, credit card, Apple Pay, SEPA, Ideal, and so on, there is often the need of having some kind of manual payment method. It could be a bank transfer, or it may be paid by cash or stuff like that. And there will be coming this new payment method that you can attach to subscriptions. Today, you can just mark invoices as paid manually, but in the future, you will be able to set a manual payment method on the subscription, and Billwerk Plus would automatically just bill that manual payment method in each billing period. There will be some settings where you can control whether we should mark these invoices as paid or maybe mark them as awaiting payment, and then you can go in and mark them as paid as soon as you receive the money which were out of Billwerk Plus environment. And together with PDF invoicing, that will mean that the customer will receive a PDF invoice with payment instructions. So you could, add a manual payment method saying bank transfer, and then we will set a PDF invoice to your customer. And on the invoice, you will have specified some payment instructions. For example, pay to this bank account number. You have these amount of days to pay in, and so on. So this will be very neat as well, especially for the ones of you doing B2B business. This is going to be really good.
All right. So now it's basically time for Q&A, but I think I will, just change a little bit because there have been so many questions in this. So I think that we will start by me telling a little bit about what will come next, what would be the next webinar we will do, and then we go back to Q&A, because then the ones of you that are busy and need to drop out can drop out before the Q&A if you don't have any questions. So let me just go to this. So the next thing we're going to have a webinar about is our product called Billwerk Plus Connect. So Billwerk Plus Connect is a way of integrating your Billwerk Plus account with multiple other SaaS solutions out there, and we have around 150 solutions that are connected to, and it's basically like a flow builder where you set up, you say, for instance, all your customers needs to go to your CRM, or your contacts needs to go to SurveyMonkey or something like that. It's very neat, and it's really easy to set up, and it's no code kind of approach. You can also, if you have, for instance, if you have an API endpoint and on your own backend, it can also communicate with that. So it doesn't need to be an integration. You can also use that, but then you need, of course, a bit of programming skills. But it's pretty neat. It's not like Zapier or anything like that, because it's basically embedded into Billwerk Plus. Sorry, and it's pretty neat. The data is also located in Europe and is on our instance, our hosted instance. So the data is not, going to the US or anything like that. Let's go back to Q&A for the one of you that may have a question or two. Let me just go back a slide. No, it's not possible. There you go. Any questions? Anything we need to come back to? Was there any more need for usage subscription now? You see that question from Kevin in the chat, Marcus?
Yeah. Was there any more need for usage subscription now? I'm not 100% sure I understand the question.
Maybe Kevin, you can write a little bit more, or unmute if that's possible.
I think you need to unmute him in that case.
Yes, hi, thanks.
Hi.
No worries.
We are starting with using Billwerk next month in the live environment. So far, we are using the sandbox system. And one thing which is really important for us is to have an option for this self-hosted checkout page thing, what you have presented today. And in the sandbox, there is a quite limited feature like this already available. Not so nice looking, not so nice in designing and presenting the packages to the customer. And here we got the link to subscription now, which seems to have a quite deep integration into Billwerk, kind of in a way a kind of cooperation. And what I have understood so far, they do exactly what you have presented now. So you can link your Billwerk account, all the information, your packages, your variants, etc., are transferred to subscription now, and from there they are presented in a more likely, in a nicer way to the customer. So exactly what we have seen in your demo.
Yeah, I think where you're coming from. So you are probably the one you have access to is probably the. So as we've started the presentation, Billwerk Plus is 3 different companies, and we merged together, and we obviously have 3 different platforms which we are trying to make sure is kind of aligned. And I think you have access to the German platform, which were the former Billwerk platform. Before we were Billwerk Plus, because that platform has access, or this integrates into subscription now. On the presentation we just were given here, that was the repair platform, and that has this new customer portal. Maybe we can take a chat afterwards and just make sure that you are on board on the platform you are intending to use. But that customer portal you just saw before is only on the platform I showed you before. But maybe feel free to reach out to us, and then we can try to make sure that you get the platform you need, and you also are aligned with the features that are included.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks.
Yeah. No worries.
All right. Any other questions? I have a question from Anya in regards to refunding on customers for payments, but that's something we take offline. I think that has nothing to do with subscriptions, but that's something that we can take offline. It's the question is how can you do it easier to refund payments on customers if you have multiple shops and stuff like that? It's not something that we have in the pipeline, but Marcus, that's something we can discuss after.
Yeah, I can just answer it real quick. So there's different ways of doing a refund. Either it's going into the admin, finding the invoice and doing the refund, and the only way of doing that is going under payments, invoices, and then searching for the invoice and finding the refund, or finding the customer first and then finding the invoice and doing the refund. If you're using some kind of e-commerce platform, we usually support refunds options directly in the e-commerce platform. So if you are inside Magento or Shopify or WooCommerce, you can do the refund directly inside your e-commerce platform instead of logging into our system. So that could be a bit easier, because that's probably where you work on a daily basis.
All right. Cool. Seems like there's not really any more questions. Then there's nothing else from me and Mark to say. Thank you so much for participating. So just remember to follow when you log into our administration. Be sure to see if there's any news about an upcoming webinar, and then sign up as you guys did this time. We would love to see you back again in 3 to 4 weeks. Have a really, really, really nice day. All right. Bye.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.